Ladies and gentlemen, I want to show you a blast from the past. This here is a project that a good friend of mine, Jonathan Shaun and I worked on from 2000 to like 2003, 2004. I think we started really working on it back in 1999 to really figure out what's going on and understand the interwebs and put all this stuff together. So what we had here, this is a website that we cater to musicians, filmmakers, artists, designers. We had a store, a media lab where we showed a lot of content, and we had our Think Lab, which was our community. And what we really focused on was providing a space for artists and musicians and just creative people to have a space that they could call their own. And what we allowed people to do, we allowed them to build their own portfolio. This was a rudimentary page. This is not the final page. I was going through some old archives and was trying to pull it all together, but so some of these pages aren't the final page, but they were able to build their own portfolio. We started with 20 megabytes of free web space and free hosting. We worked it up to 50 megabytes of free web space. And then some people could pay, I believe, and we'd give them 100 megabytes of space, and they'd have their own website. They could basically launch their own website from whatever.methodlab.com. So pretty interesting how we had that. We had some really cool creative services. Musicians and filmmakers could actually, or musicians and designers and artists, they could send us their logos and whatnot, and we would create custom T-shirts for them. We would bang the shirts and with the heat press, and so it's kind of like a precursor to Threadless a little bit, and kind of interesting how we had that. Plus, it was a little bit of Dropbox back in the day for people to be able to submit their work and to build their own free portfolio. This was literally, we launched that in 2001. And so this main page right here, we had all these different places where people could go. We would curate some of the best content that we could find, some of the best live concerts, some of the best audio streams, music videos, interviews, MP3 downloads that were coming out, different film shorts from all across the world, comedy shows, venues, different clubs that was going on at different places we could go to connect locally and whatnot, industry resources, all types of stuff, right? So we had all kinds of really interesting places that we could go. Each one of these, we actually had a custom CMS built in the back end. So for example, we'd go to the music lab, and the music lab here, what we'd have is we'd have all these different articles. Some of them would be blog posts, some of them would be links to other places, and so we would basically, so a lot of these are URLs, but we had a place where you could log in. Here's the URL. Here's the headline, here's the photo you want to use, and we had our own iMagazine, so people would sign up, and we'd have a monthly magazine with the Method Lab, monthly magazine, as we called it back in the day, and we had some really interesting stuff. So I don't know how many of these links even work still. Fu Manchu, let's see if Fu Manchu still pops up. Yeah, so Fu Manchu, we had it all break down so it would pop up inside of our own iframe, which was pretty handy. And then we could go to each additional place, right? So we had, here's our art lab right here. People could submit their art and they'd have their own gallery. So we'd say, oh, Alex Gray. Alex Gray probably still works. Let's see if some of these links still work. This is hilarious. Literally haven't seen this webpage since 2004. It's been about 10 years since I've gone through here. This is one of the coolest things that we built way back in the day. So really we had galleries. We had, with our Think Lab, which is defunct now because it was thinklab.mediathinklabs.com. It was our own. It was a forum community, but we really expanded the forum community and gave everybody their own profile page and allowed people to really be social. And so we enhanced the forums and really sort of made a preliminary sort of social media site, social networking site. We had, at our highest point, we had a little over 5,000 members in our forums, as far as people who had our own, when they build their own portfolio and have their own free web space. We had over, I think it was like 13,000 people who were on our free hosting. We never got funding, right? We never tried to get funding. We did all this on our own, just 3 people sort of building stuff and doing really cool things. And we sort of parted ways in 2004 with some business disagreements and whatnot, but we were definitely ahead of the curve a little bit there. Pretty interesting to sort of see all the different stuff that was going on way back in the day. Playing around and different designer, different things that was going on. Yeah, some of these pages aren't as complete as others. They're not the final versions of them. Haven't pieced it all together, but pretty interesting. So it's been pretty cool. Have reconnected to my good friend Shaun, and we made a lot of magic back in the day. So we're going to work on some additionally cool stuff and keep on rocking and rolling. But this is some interesting stuff that we did back in the day. Pretty fun piecing it all together. So definitely amazing how time flies. That is faux show. So there we go. Do we see the Film Lab? There we go. Film Lab page. All types of different rollovers, different cool stuff we had going on, different things. In each photo, basically, we'd place a new one here, and then we pop in an image with it as well, and it would just all sort of connect. We had it all automated, man. If we'd have been able to follow through on this and keep trucking, man, this could have been something pretty special. So this was methodlabs.com, and there you go. It's iRadio Lab. iRadio Lab doesn't work. ThinkLab doesn't work. Build Portfolio. Pretty cool. It's not online anymore, but pretty handy stuff. All kinds of great content we had on here, and we was able to refresh it all the time. Pretty cool stuff. All right, there you go. That was a trip down memory lane, my folks. There you go. Hope you enjoyed it.